Well, good morning, everybody. I think today I'm going to make some deviled eggs. And I'll show you a couple of my secrets that I like to incorporate for. I have a good secret for making hard-boiled eggs that you can peel easily. And then we'll go ahead and make those deviled eggs. So here we go. So the first step is boiling your eggs to make hard-boiled eggs. Now, my secret for making easy to peel eggs is to use the oldest eggs you have. Now, we have our own chickens, so we have our own eggs, and our eggs tend to be fresh. And on the shelf here that I'm pointing the camera at are our freshest eggs. So what I do is in the summertime, I always keep a dozen eggs to the side, and I put them over on this other shelf. So the dozen eggs that you're looking at right there are our oldest eggs. And I mean, they're not really very old, but of the eggs that we have, those are currently our oldest ones. So we're going to use 6 of those eggs. When I hard boil eggs, whether for deviled eggs or for just having hard boiled eggs for snacks, I always do them 6 at a time. So we're going to grab 6 of those eggs. The first thing I do is I put 2 teaspoons of salt. This is optional, by the way. 2 teaspoons of salt in my cooking pot. And 2 teaspoons of white vinegar in my cooking pot. So I'll take 6 eggs and put it in the pot. Of this entire dozen eggs, I'll put the 6 oldest in the pot. There we go. I like to cover the eggs by about an inch with cold water. That should just about do it. Now we'll take our eggs out to the summer kitchen. And we'll put a flame under our eggs. So that's it. We'll just wait until those eggs start to boil. That's always my hard decision. When does the boil start? That can affect the outcome of how solid your yolk is. But anyway, when you decided that your boil has started, set a timer for 8 minutes. So now we just have to wait. Okay, I'm going to call that a boil. Start an 8-minute timer. So we set our timer for 8 minutes, and it depends on how you want your yolk. If you want a really firm yolk, you can set it for 10 minutes. Oh, there goes our timer, speaking of the devil. So we'll turn the flame off. And I've got a pail of cold water next to us. We're going to ladle these hot eggs out and put it into the new cold water. Now, if you have ice cubes, if you have one of those fancy refrigerators that has ice cubes, you're probably best off to just get a bowl with some ice water in it. But we don't have ice cubes, so we do it this way. It goes into this cold water bath right out of the well. And now I'm going to put cold water in this pot and bring it back over. I've got some freshly chilled water here right from the well. So it's probably around 51 degrees. I'm sure you all have boiled eggs, so you don't need me to tell you how. So you can skip ahead to the other part of the recipe if you want. Anyway, those are our eggs. We'll take them inside and peel them. Gonna peel them. Okay, here we go. Here's our eggs. There we go. Now we'll peel them. Alright, our eggs are nicely cooled off in our water bath. Now we'll get to see how easy they are to peel after I bragged myself up. Here we go. Of course, it works perfect every time and I'm not on camera. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. And if you don't boil them for too long, you'll get a nice yellow yolk. You don't get any green on your yolk. That's what I try for. It's not, that's just cosmetic though. So there's one. Peels very easily. And I think that the secret to having them peel easy is the idea of using the oldest eggs you have. If you're buying your eggs from the store, which is fine, I understand, just put a dozen eggs in the back of the refrigerator shelf, during the summer anyway, and save them for hard boiling. That shell comes right off so easy. Look at that. And even these eggs are really not that old. We have our handy little cutting board and our handy little freshly boiled eggs that we just peeled. Peeled so easily. And we'll cut these guys in half. I need the mixing bowl here for the yolks. So we'll save the yolks, of course, obviously. A couple of, I think one of the eggs, the white tore a little bit. That's what you see there, but I'm going to camouflage that with filling. We have all of our yolks separated. They're in our mixing bowl. And the first thing we'll start with is mayonnaise. And I don't want to give you the mayonnaise lecture again. I did the other day when we were making a different salad. Where we're going to go with 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And I just eyeball it, basically. I use the measuring spoon, but doesn't have to be that accurate. 1½ teaspoon of our Dijon mustard. By the way, have you ever wondered why they're called deviled eggs? Apparently, back in the old days, anything that they took and added a lot of spice to, the way we're doing here, was considered deviling. And so these are deviled eggs. Okay, that's our Dijon. We're going to go with 2 teaspoons of salt. We don't like a lot of salt. Just do it 1½. And then we need 1 teaspoon of vinegar. There we go. And then just a little bit of black pepper. And that is it. So we're gonna mash all these up together and mix them up. Danielle and I were just discussing off camera her primeval instincts. So that's a conversation for another day. She likes to gnaw the meat off of bones. I'm going to just chop this up and mix it and blend it really well. That's the filling for our deviled eggs. Okay, our filling is all made. Now we can fill each one of these little egg guys up. I've actually been known to pipe the mixture into the eggs, kind of for a little bit of extra decoration. I don't have time today because I've got to get down to the garden. But it's a nice touch if you're going to an event or a potluck or something where you want to bring something to pipe your filling in. And for a garnish, I like to use paprika. Doesn't take much. Whoop, not that much. That's about right there. Just like that. And there we go. So that's it. Deviled eggs. Takes about an hour total. Thanks for watching.